After Superman and his close ones received the hard news in the last episode, Superman and Lois, Season 4, Episode 9, reveals that the whole world is now aware that the Man of Steel's powers are fading. Lex Luthor is now in possession of John Henry Irons' steel suit. As Irons examined Clark in the last episode through the steel suit system, all the data from that scan was available to Luthor when Milton took over the suit's controls. Lex had already told Emmett Purgande that Clark was Superman, and now he shows the world that Superman's powers are diminishing. Superman's powers have become a major question mark for the series. Without Clark, could his sons take on villains like Lex Luthor? Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 9 explores that. Knowing that he is not anymore at full power and that Lex has access to Steel's suit, Clark decides to train Jordan and Jonathan to be able to take on the villain. However, things do not go well. At the Fortress of Solitude, Clark has his sons fight against a steel hologram that captures Irons' approach from when he tried to murder Superman early on in the DC series. However, the boys can barely measure up to the steel hologram. Clark watches with a concerned look on his face as he realizes that Jordan and Jonathan are not ready at all to fight Luthor in the steel suit. When he finally has enough of seeing his sons get kicked around by the steel hologram, he tells both of them that they can go home. Jordan and Jonathan want to continue training, but Clark assures them there is no need, and so they go off. The steel suit was close in power to Superman at his best, which is worrying. While Clark had to fight alone for all of his life, that is not the fate of his sons. After talking with Lois, Clark realizes that he cannot give up on training the boys. The three of them meet again in Smallville to train. This time, Clark has a different approach. While Clark had to fight alone for all of his life, that is not the fate of his sons. Now that Jonathan gained powers in Superman and Lois Season 4, both John and Jordan can take to the skies together. Clark then asks his sons to work as a team to land a punch on him. They cannot do it, and the trio is stopped by Doomsday's return. Doomsday's return is just one of the major developments in Lex Luthor's final plan to take down Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. In Episode 8, Lex accepts not being in control and follows Amanda McCoy's plan, which includes Gordon Godfrey and taking down Lois Lane's credibility. It worked, but Lex was not a fan of not being in control. Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 9 touches on that. Lex makes Amanda the person to hold the biggest stake in Luthor Corp, second only to him. However, Lois discovers and exposes to Amanda that Lex is just using her. Lois Lane gets the means to turn Amanda against Lex through a major character return. Episode 9 saw the main villain of Superman and Lois Season 3, Chad Coleman's Bruno Mannheim, return. After talking with Mannheim in prison, Lois successfully flips Amanda after telling her how Cheryl Kimball also felt Lex loved her before being betrayed. Still, it is too late. Through data on the steel suit, Lex Luthor and Milton figure out that Doomsday is in Smallville. Amanda confronts Lex, who tells her he is the one in charge and dons the steel suit to go after Doomsday. Milton managed to revamp the steel suit, which might look the same on the outside, but has received major internal augments. These include kryptonite enhancements, which Lex uses on Doomsday, killing the character once again and allowing the monster to take his final form. Tyler Hoechlin's Superman even managed to get to the mines in time to see Lex and Doomsday there, though he could not stop Lex's plan. With the updated steel suit at his command and Doomsday unleashed once again, but now, more powerful than ever, things are looking good for Luthor and bleak for Clark. Not only does Doomsday look the most comic book accurate he has ever looked in live action, but the monster is now extremely powerful and seemingly unable to be stopped. Lois Lane even tries to talk to Doomsday and get him to leave like she did earlier in Superman and Lois Season 4, but Doomsday does not listen to her this time around. That leads to mayhem in Smallville, as Jonathan and Jordan race around the town saving people while Superman takes on Doomsday solo, starting their rematch after Doomsday killed the Man of Steel the last time they fought. A weakened Man of Steel is no match for Doomsday in Episode 9. Clark manages to land a few blows, but he does not find a way to stop the monster. Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 9 ends with one of the show's darkest moments. A bloody Clark tries to get off the ground as his family watches him. Superman tries to tell them how much he loves them before Doomsday takes him away, which could lead to the hero's second death in the DC series next week when the Superman and Lois series finale airs.